Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ushra.
Let's start episode 92 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. And today's question was sent by John. And he asks how to create alternate harmonizations and descants for the last verse of the hymn. Basically, this is the question how to reharmonize any type of melody. Yes, Ausra?
Yes, I believe so.
So here is the situation, as I understand. You have a four-part setting of a hymn from the hymnal. You normally play from this sheet, from this setting, playing four parts, maybe with pedals, maybe without pedals. And then when the last verse comes, you want to be able to play something else based on that melody, right? Something different harmony. So, Osha, what would you do in this situation?
Well, no, to change harmony completely, it might be a little bit dangerous thing for congregation. You could do that probably, yes. But in order to reharmonize, you have to know what it's written in your original hymn.
Mm-hmm.
And then based on that, you could reharmonize it. But definitely there are various ways to harmonize the same melody. You can use different chords. Or you can do the different texture too.
Let's talk about adding different chords first. Wouldn't it be easier to simply play from the sheet, looking at the solo melody without the given harmonization, and add your chords, add your harmonization on top of that solo melody?
Yes, that's a possibility, definitely.
Like you would at home write down the melody on a separate sheet of paper, soprano line, and when the last verse of the hymn comes, you start playing not from the hymnal but from that sheet.
That's a possibility,
right?
Definitely, yes.
And you can add whatever you want then.
Well, yes, but it should fit, the melody too. So you still need to follow some rules.
What is rule number one here? What's forbidden maybe? What would you have to avoid when harmonizing soprano line?
Well, probably the basic things are like to avoid parallel fifths and octaves, to avoid augmented intervals, jumps off in augmented intervals. Then, to avoid leading all four voices to one side, either moving up or down.
What is the number one solution to all these problems?
Well, you would have to. Well, if you would write the harmony down, if you would harmonize it, then you could check it for those mistakes. But also,
What I mean is, when you harmonize the soprano line, what would you do with the bass? Normally, do you go to the same direction or opposite?
no, well, actually, usually bass moves to the opposite direction comparing with the soprano.
Why?
But, well, then it creates nice contrary motion.
And why?
But sometimes the soprano and bass can move to the same direction, but maybe one of the inner voice can just stay in the same spot.
Yes. So generally what you mean is the easiest thing to watch out is for contrary motion between the outer voices,
Yes.
soprano and bass.
Yes.
But sometimes maybe inner voices can have contrary motion with soprano as well. And that's how you avoid those forbidden intervals, right?
Yes, that's right.
And okay, what else should John know when he wants to reharmonize the melody? maybe how to discover the chords from each note of the melody. Let's say the melody is in C major and you see the note C on the page, right? What kind of chord would fit on that?
Well, tonic chord and then 6 scale degree root position chord and of course subdominant chord. So basically you have some
Tonic would be C, E, G.
some choices.
6 scale degree chord would be what? A, C, E, and subdominant would be F, A, C.
Yes.
You see, in each of these three chords, there is a note C present. Therefore, it fits nicely.
And third scale degree chord too has a C note, but it's maybe not that often used, but it could also be used in some cases. And of course, you could not use a chord in like root position, not only in a root position. You could use inversions too.
First inversion usually.
Yes, first inversion.
Normally. Yes. What if I have the note D in the melody?
Well, it could be a dominant or
G, B, D.
That's right.
What else?
Well, 7 scale degree first inversion.
D, F,
D, F, B.
B.
Of course, you could use like dominant inversions or dominant 7th chord and inversions of it. So that's G, B, D, F and its inversions. Or 7 scale degree 7th chord.
B, D,
F and
F,
A.
Or just second scale degree root position chord.
That's right.
Or first inversion.
Well, yes, but be careful with that chord. It's not so often used in a root position, especially in a minor keys. In major keys it's okay, but in minor keys it's a diminished chord, so it's not that often
forbidden.
used. Yes, you could use inversions of it, like first inversion.
That's right. And so on, right? You have to think. You don't have to know mentally all these chords, the names of these chords, but you can discover them by building them up from the bass, right? From the note E, you could discover E, G, B. When E is in the lowest note, in the lowest position, or in the middle would be tonic chord, C, E, G, right? E is present, or the 6th scale degree when it's on top, A, C, E, right?
Yes.
So people can really experiment, I think, with these chords and melodic notes, right? See what fits and what color it creates, each particular chord, because not every chord fits nicely to the next one, right?
That's true.
What are the three main functions that people should be aware of?
Well, tonic, subdominant, and dominant. And what you have to know is that, tonic may appear after each of these, functions. Basically, it's the main function. And, subdominant may come before tonic and go after tonic, and then after subdominant, dominant may come. But after dominant chord, you never use the subdominant chord.
Unless there are some exceptions, right?
Yes, there are some exceptions, but
it's too advanced to talk
but we are
right
very,
now.
rare, and you need to know how to use them. So basically, after a dominant chord, you use either another dominant chord, or you just resolve it to a tonic chord.
Right. Right. So, guys, if you want to reharmonize your melody, you can follow those simple suggestions. If you want to create additional melodic line, like a fifth voice, which is called descant, this is something else, right, Ausra?
That's right, yes.
This is especially nice if a trumpet, let's say, plays very high or cornet, high-pitched melody on top of the harmonized 4-part setting.
That's right.
for the last verse of the hymn. And I believe there are many collections that people have created for like 10th or 100 hymns from the hymnals, or maybe in every hymn setting they have reharmonized everything and created additional descant, right? So
That's
people
right.
could open specific title of the song of the hymn and choose the descant and just play it, right? But what if a person wants to try to create the descant? Isn't it's kind of a tricky because you have to create additional voice, but it may be less tricky if you think it in terms of creating a melody based on those chords.
Yes,
You can double, right? You can double some of the voices sometimes, right? And
but
you
not
can,
but not all the time, maybe.
just once in a while
Yes.
double, uh, because you see, in every three-part chord, tonic, subdominant, dominant, let's say, there are three notes, but there are four voices: soprano, alto, tenor, and bass. And at the end, you want to add a descant, which is the fifth voice. So you have to double something.
Yes, but you also could create some diminutions maybe in the descanto voice.
Oh, that's right. You could basically, what I have found very useful is to try to play a voice which is a high pitched voice, but not the melody, not the soprano, not the women's high pitched voice, but let's say men's
Like
high
tenor, yes.
tenor, because it's an inner voice. They never hear it on top of the melody, and it feels very, very nice if you play it with cornet or trumpet.
Yes, I think it should work.
That's the easiest way.
Yes.
No reharmonization necessary. You just have to play a different setting of the hymn. So imagine, of course, your right hand should be free to take this descant with the solo stop. What would your left hand do then, Osha?
Probably to play three voices and then, bass line in the pedal.
Three voices in a closed position,
Yes,
probably.
of course, in a closed
Soprano,
position.
alto, and tenor,
You
closed
wouldn't
enough.
be able to play in an open position, three voices in one hand.
Closed position means that each of those three voices have to be closer than a fifth apart, basically not more than a fourth.
Yes,
Perfect
that's
fourth.
right.
Um, so then, and the distance between those three outer voices, soprano and tenor, should not be more than an octave, because
That's right.
your hand will be too narrow.
That's
Right.
true.
So, and the pedals can take the usual bass line, I think. Right.
Yes, yes.
So, guys, try this at home and try, of course, before, well ahead of time, and try many times and work on fragments and sections, and not necessarily everything together. But how about just practicing the tenor line with the right hand alone, just to make sure you know the movement?
Yes, that would be a good way to practice.
Hmm. Do you
Oh,
think? Go ahead.
or maybe you could know. I just thought about modulation, going right away, whole step or half step up, like in a pop music. You could do that for the last verse of a hymn too.
But for that, you would need probably interlude, modulating interlude.
Well, like in pop music, sometimes we do it right away without any interlude.
So yeah, it depends on your style and choice and taste, probably,
Yes, that's true.
and skill. If you know how to modulate from C major to C sharp major, then go ahead and do that for 4 or 8 measures, and then you can add the last verse half step higher.
Yes.
That's nice for Easter or Christmas solemn occasion. Do you think also that people could benefit from our courses on harmonization?
I think so, yes.
Something like a workshop on hymn harmonization, and I think harmony for organist level 1 too.
That's true, it explains the main voice leading
Yeah,
and functions of a course. That's a valuable course for beginners.
great. And you did this course with Victoria too, right? I think explaining a little bit those concepts, which also would be helpful. All right, so guys, go ahead and apply our tips in your practice and send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. This was Vidas.
And Oshra,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.